Wake up, samurai. We got a vlog to make. Whoosh. What's up, cyberspace? It's Xero. You know, with the new Cyberpunk game coming out, everyone thinking about video games, I thought maybe that'd be a good topic to talk about today. So Exo's gonna take his time machine back once again to the 1990s and tell you about the mythical video games of the day. We had this amazing place called an arcade. Home video game consoles exist, but you know, the early days of video gaming were in bars and restaurants. Pinball games were first proliferating the market of gaming at establishments of some sort, oftentimes pool halls, bars, stuff like that. But as Pong and the early video games came out, people started realizing that these were popular, and bars weren't the only places that wanted them. By the time that I was a teenager, you would go to a mom and pop pizza shop and they would have like a Mortal Kombat game or something like that over in the corner with a pinball machine or something like that for you to play while you were waiting for your pizza. It was super common to just go to a place and see an arcade coin-op machine somewhere. But they were also places that were called malls, and they were places where you would shop, and they often had arcades, dedicated stores filled with arcade machines. When you were a young kid who liked video games, it was heaven to be able to go into that place and play all of these different kinds of games. When you had your own game console at home, you had a few games, a finite number of games that you'd play over and over and over again. But when you'd go to the arcade, especially at the time, they were much greater quality than a home console game would have. I remember being at my house and playing Mega Man 2, and then going to the arcade and playing Mortal Kombat 2, and it being like a night and day difference. So I've never played Mortal Kombat 2. That's one of my all-time favorite games ever, and I'm going to tell you a story about it right now. People have always loved competitions, and it was no different at the arcade. We had video game tournaments at the arcade where you'd come, you'd sign up. You often didn't have to pay to be in the tournament. It was just like promotional advertising for the arcade itself. So Aladdin's Castle and the Tilt were the two arcades. Yeah, we had two in my mall. And Aladdin's Castle had this Mortal Kombat 2 tournament, and my best friend Chris Lamatrace and I loved that game. We played it all of the time. You know how card sharks or pool sharks existed? I mean, if there was an arcade shark, that's what Chris and I were. We would go up there and wait for high schoolers to come up. We'd put that token right there on the screen to say that we got the next game. We would go in there and just act like we were young kids and then totally wipe the floor with them. So, the day of the tournament comes. Chris destroys all of his opponents. I don't really have any trouble either. We go all through the brackets, and in the finals, two best friends meet each other. We played Mortal Kombat together all the time. We knew each other's moves inside and out. Sorry if you're watching this, Chris, but you were a cheeseball. He picked Scorpion every single time, and he was the master at Scorpion. There was no doubt about it. He was the unabashed Scorpion master. While I would play as all different kinds of characters. I did have a penchant for Sub-Zero. I mean, come on, the name like that. But anyhow, so we get to the finals, and I specifically didn't pick one of my A-list characters to try and throw Chris off. And then I watched him pick Scorpion. So here we are, Raiden versus Scorpion. I got him with the triple combo, where you hit him with a shocker, and then himmy bubble, himmy bubble, himmy bubble. And he was on the ropes a little bit. And I saw him start it, and that cheeseball did that infinite combo. If you know about the original arcade version of Mortal Kombat 2, Scorpion had this teleport combo where all the way at the other screen, if you could time it just right, you would do the teleport, do the roundhouse, kick him all the way across the screen. You could just barely throw the harpoon and catch him and pull him back and start the combo again infinitely. And that cheeseball did that. Won the round. So, second round comes up, I had to just go ham as hard as I could. And at the very end, I had him on the ropes again, and that cheeseball started that combo again. I didn't know what to do. Should I elbow him in the ribs? No, that's not sportsmanlike to do. I tried to just press every button, but I knew it was a combo he couldn't, get out. So I was trying to like yell in his ear. The only way I could win was like a psych out if he couldn't do the moves fast enough with his hands. But pros, sharks, he did it. He won the tournament. I was so mad. I mean, we were best friends, so like I didn't really like hold it against him that much, but it was like a grudge. Like I didn't let go for a long time, like secretly. We hung out all the time, played video games all the time. My parents would drop me off at his parents' house in the morning because mine worked and his mom didn't, and then we would catch the bus together to go to school. So we'd play video games or do homework or whatever all morning. And months go by. And we loved the arcade. We loved the mall. We were mall rats. We hung out there all the time. New games came out. And one of my all-time favorite games, Killer Instinct, had debuted at that point in time. If you don't know Killer Instinct, you should play it. It's a great arcade game. I suggest you download the main multiple arcade machine emulator and then the CH4 file, or CHD file, I forget what it's called, the compressed hard drive, CHD file, for Killer Instinct, the original, and play that game. It is so good. Saberwolf was my dude. I could do like a consistent 42-hit combo with Saberwolf every single time. Orchid was the queen of that game. She had one of those cheeseball combos you couldn't break either. Glacius had another really, really hard to pull off combo that was like that. But Mortal Kombat was a move game. Very much like you did like a super move, and it was all about timing and kind of Street Fighter-y. Killer Instinct was very much a combo-driven game. One of the first really big combo-driven fighting games. And you could really do some big numbers. The way the damage worked, the way you could do chains, stuff like that. Long story short, tournament happens. You knew it was coming, right? I was so ready. At this point, I'd hung out with the arcade people more and more and become friends with them, and I'd said, don't you dare wait till the finals to put me and Chris in that thing. I want to go at him round 2 or something like that. And they didn't listen to me. They put us in the second to the last round. And guess what? I did not let Chris beat me this time. I was so ready for Lammy in that one. I myself chose my best character as well and decided to go ham and chose Saberwolf and just howled all over that dude. At the end, I did that sort of humiliation move that you can do in Killer Instinct just as a taunt at the end, having beat Chris. He had that Mortal Kombat 2 poster that he won from the tournament that had the code on the inside of it or whatever, and it was hanging on the inside of his bedroom door. I went on to win the Killer Instinct tournament, if you didn't guess by the story. I wouldn't be telling it otherwise, but yeah, I chose Orchid in the finals and did a what was it, an 84-hit ultra combo, and put my name as the top combo scorer on the machine as just a mic drop for the competition, because I loved that game so much and I played it so hard. I didn't get a cool prize for winning that tournament. I got a better prize, second place in the Mortal Kombat tournament, but that did not matter to me. I didn't need a fancy poster. I didn't need any of that kind of stuff. The bragging rights that I had finally come back and didn't even use a cheeseball move, just went ham and showed Chris what was up in the arcade for real, and then won the tournament was the bragging rights that I won that I needed, Video games, they do a lot of different things for a lot of different people, I feel like. In these times with COVID-19, people working from home, stuff like that, video games play an important role in escapism, I feel like. People need that sort of, I need to lose myself in fantasy for a while and play something and have a good time and not have to worry about my troubles. A fighting game is a great way to vent frustration. As an angry teenager or whatever, smashing those buttons, it's really cathartic. I really love RPG games too. Final Fantasy III, aka 6, for Super Nintendo is one of my all-time favorite games. I've played that on my phone. I've played that on emulators. I have the Game Boy Advance version. I had a DS. Yeah, anyways. Chrono Trigger is another RPG that I've played on multiple platforms. That's also, a super amazing game that if you've not played either of those, I totally suggest you do. But everybody gets different things out of different games and wants to play a different kind. Metroid is another great game that I really love. Samus is a character that I think is a great role model for a lot of architects for video games. She's a strong, independent character. She doesn't need to say much. You don't really need to give her a lot of direction. She just sort of, figures things out on her own. That exploration, going through the levels. I mean, sure, there's some Metroid hand-holding games. Fusion, for instance, with the SAX and leading you from place to place to place and stuff like that. But, think about Zero Mission or the original Super Metroid. Man, those games were very just, here's a world, good luck! And, I've been playing those games with my son, and he is really, really into Super Metroid right now. And it's super cool to watch him solve puzzles. He needs help, obviously. He can't do the bomb jump. It's tough for timing, stuff like that. But watching him figure out what to do, even if I have to help him press the buttons to do it, he's, driving the gameplay. And it's fun. It's fun to watch him try and figure those things out. Anyhow, we've been playing Switch, too. If you haven't played Axon Verge, that is a fantastic Metroidvania that I've just been playing on the Switch, which I totally suggest you check out. So now I'm just going to name favorite video games, so this video is getting lame. So, I've noticed I've been getting 25 views on these videos and 5 likes. So, 20 people, you just watching it and don't care, or don't like it. Tell me what you want me to do. Do I need to be louder? Do I need to edit them? You might notice the angle's different on this video. I was using a Pete's Pirate Life box for my tripod for my phone, and I had to wrap it for Christmas because it's my Christmas present to myself. So yeah, probably need to buy a tripod or something like that. Maybe a light, I don't know. The sun is just now rising. I've been recording these videos 5, 6 a.m. and giving myself something to do with my insomnia. So anyways, press those buttons, like, subscribe, bell, comment. Tell me what you want to hear, what you like, what you didn't. So, yep, later.